Hey everybody, it's Free-to-Play Bust kicking off expedition number 161. Let's get to it. Right, it's the old Yasuo. I'm kind of tempted to give it a go. It's awkward here. Like the Solar Winds is based on using Leona to get your stuns for Yasuo, but then the actual Yasuo half of this is mainly based on recalls. It's kind of interesting to see it having Young Witch in here because kind of one of the things I do find interesting is using Navori Blade Scouts with Young Witch and then with the Lulu. But not necessarily here with Yasuo. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not like real huge on this cloning program Vi. We can skip it pretty easily. I'm actually kind of it's not this Vi, it's the smash and grab that makes me upset. The smash and grab Vi, they spent all this time um, turning it into the 2 cost cards matter thing, and then with the new cards, they heavily focused on like the one card they printed, the Trob Beam Accelerator, whatever it's called, and just kind of like ignored the 2 cost card thing was a theme. And so we'll see if they plan on setting up these Piltover decks over the next few sets to be something to where like 2 cost matters in one, 3 cost matters in another, and 4 cost matters in another. Hopefully they don't, because they brought the theme out and then just had just really like one build around card for it, and so there was a whole lot of setup and not a whole lot of payoff, and then it just got ignored in the new set. So interesting. Anyways, aside, we'll see how that pans out. Nonetheless, I don't really want this cloning program Vi. It's not a good build around pool. It's a reasonable support. That's kind of how all of the Vi pools are. There tends to be pools that have like Mystic Shots and things like Chempunk Pickpocket in it, but it's just no like cohesive theme that we actually want to build around. Here, I do like this Smash and Grab Twist Fate. He's pretty a good champion still. He's not as spectacular as he was in the before Call of the Mountain was released, but he's still a fine champion. And starting off any Twisted Fate deck with Pool Shark is pretty good. Just kind of the premier 1-drop in all of the Twisted Fate decks, whether or not you're trying to build sea monsters or trying to do a 1-drop aggressive nab kind of theme. Pool Shark plays fantastically well in every Twisted Fate. But nonetheless, I want to try out this Solar Winds Yasuo. If you're familiar with my tier lists, I keep dropping Yasuo into tier 5. He's just kind of the worst of it. I want to see if my opinion will change a little more after doing this. I was saying that, Yasuo was like one stun card away from being good enough. And, Leona is a stun card, but it doesn't feel like the way we're really looking for that to go. And so if we're wanting to follow this stun theme, we might be able to try to like pick up a Leona in pack 2 and then a Noxus champion in pack 3, but then we're just kind of, uh, not really able to build around Daybreak to just pick up that Leona. So let me get this pulled up here real quick on the site. If you're not familiar, it's ftpbus.com. Got all of the card pools in this handy little drop down here, and we'll just go over to Solar Winds. And this was kind of what I was talking about here, is that it's just like they've kind of switched this to being a recall centric one. It does have concussive palm in it, but it's mainly your big. Well, maybe it's not as heavy handed as I thought. I thought that there was the actual physical card recall in here, so you were looking at like recall and Navori Conspirator and the Solitary Monk kind of package, but there is Concussive Palm here. Concussive Palm is one of the just extremely important stun cards that we'll pick up with Yasuo here. But I mean, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. Like, we can try to pull off this Blade Scout plus Young Witch theme. It'll be kind of awkward not having access to Lulu, but if we like jump into Leona for Targon, then we do get access to that other 2 cost support champion. And then beyond that, he's always just felt like there's like one card short of being extremely good, but we do get access to Singular Will now. I have a feeling that Singular Will is just absolutely fantastic. If you're coming from like a Magic background and you've ever gotten to play with Upheaval, it's like it's not an apples to apples comparison, since like with upheaval, it returns everything into your hand, and so that also included land. And so with in Magic, you could set up a play to where like you say had like access to 9 mana, you haven't played a land yet for the turn, you spend all 9 mana into your pool, then you play upheaval, then you can play a land, and then you have access to basically 1 land ahead of your opponent, 4 mana ahead of your opponent, and the game restarts. Um, it's not quite as powerful here with Singular Will, but you do get to keep a unit on the board. And so if your opponent has done some kind of like go wide strategy, you can really kind of cancel that. Or if they've played say a 5, 6, and a 7, which isn't unheard of, you get to Singular Will, then it'll take them at least 2 turns to replay all of those cards. And so I think this is an ultra powerful one here. But nonetheless, kind of long story short, if we're going to actually build around Yasuo, which we'll try to do here, we're going to be looking for Concussive Palm. It's just the most important stun that we can find. We'll also be looking to pair it with Noxus. Leona on her own isn't enough to really build around. Maybe we can try 2 Leona to Yasuo and see how that goes. Sounds kind of garbagey to me, and I think we'll just be piggybacking on Leona being so good. But we'll see how it goes. Otherwise, there just isn't like the cards to build a real deck here outside of building Yasuo. So it's a touch awkward, but we'll see how it goes. Did get the Leona to pop up, so I think that's what we'll have to follow here. The Radiant Dawn card pool is just the Daybreak build around. But you do get to start with Hush and White Flame Protector, which are reasonable units. The awkward thing with these decks are that with the Protector, I should say, is that we're going to have 4 cards between Yasuo and Leona in the 4-drop slot, and so we don't really want to be stacking in too many more 4-drops, if any. But, we'll get to run around with Hush. I don't think Hush is as good as an Expedition as it is in Constructed, but it's a reasonable card. The Protector's a reasonable card. This doesn't really like pigeonhole us into building around Yasuo or building around Leona. It's just a pretty reasonable set of cards to start with. But I think I probably will end up trying to find a Noxus card along the way if we're just going to build around this Yasuo. Nonetheless, this Heimerdinger, I don't really like pairing Heimerdinger with Ionia. It's kind of fine if you want. This is a reasonable start with one of these, kind of infinite 3-cost cards that you can play with Heimerdinger. Unlicensed Innovation plays extremely well with all of the 2-cost guys that give you 2 spell mana. And then the Flash of Brilliance did get returned back to 3 mana. So Heimerdinger did just get quite a boost in the recent pack here. And then with the otherworldly creatures, I don't think this will pair well with Yasuo. This is kind of half a ramp deck, half a Battle Scars deck, and I'm just not a huge fan of what's happening here. And so here we're going to take the Leona. I can pull her up real quick. It's not the Solar Winds half, but that shouldn't be a huge deal here. All the cards that we want should still pretty reasonably show up. But kind of the big thing we'll be looking for here is if we're gonna like really build around Yasuo, we're gonna still need to get kind of these early game units going, whether or not that be like the Blade Scout or Solari Soldier, just things to combo off with Tayari and the Young Witch. Then perhaps we'll even find a Mentor of the Stones or a Mountain Sojourners. But as far as this pool goes, this is just heavily built towards being a Daybreak deck, and it does it extremely well. If you're going to go for Daybreak, Ravoon is just kind of the next most important thing to be picking up. He just kind of keeps all of your cards churning through the game, and then if you have a Ravoon able to either just play 2 Daybreaks in a turn or pop off a big Morning Light. He does all kinds of good work. But even if we don't end up in the Daybreak deck, a 5/5 for 5 that puts a card in your hand is still a pretty reasonable value. And so we'll see how this pans out. I'm going to try to build around Yasuo. A lot of these Leona cards are just good on their own. We'll see if we're able to get this Yasuo build around going. Maybe not. It's kind of awkward, if we're wanting to use Leona for her stuns, and then, if we're branching out away into 3 factions, then it's going to be tough to hit all of these Daybreaks. But just playing her on her own and getting the stun is probably good enough to make to make Yasuo happy. Let's see. I'm taking this Leona. Let's see. Let's see how this game tries to abuse our curve. This is a pretty reasonable start here with the shield breaker and the rush. I do really love these one-cost combat tricks, and they've just added quite a few of them. I think they've added rush to 2 card pools, maybe 3. It was non-existent for my Ionia there for a while, and then they started to bring it back. Um, this is a great start. We're kind of interested in Zenith Blades, but again, we don't really want any more 4-drops. And then these down here are just not what we're trying to do. The Kinku Lifeblade only plays well in Jeweled Protector decks or Elusive Build-Arounds. Scales of the Dragon is just kind of, he's okay, but he's just kind of filler. We're pretty happy to pick up all of these cards here. Okay. Interesting. Claws of the Dragon Sonic Wave. I'm kind of tempted to jump in on these. It's like I don't think we're going to be able to pull these combos off too frequently, but this Sonic Wave just seems pretty good. Between already having Young Witch, having Yasuo, Young Witch, giving units quick attack, Yasuo having quick attack, and then it just gives us a great way to interact, which we typically don't have access to. I was thinking there was another card that this played well with when I stopped to look and then came back to it, but that has escaped me. Also here, oh, it was the Shield Breaker. Yeah, that was what it was good with. It turns out giving a 6 health unit a challenger is a pretty reasonable place to attack. So I think I'm kind of interested in these. This deck should end up like sort of spell heavy if we're able to find things like Concussive Palms. It's not super hard to drop a Claws of the Dragon, although we probably won't see any more of these. I think I'm pretty happy with this. It's not so much I think in a vacuum this Shield Bear Sunburst combination of cards is just better, but I think we'll end up finding one more Sunburst, and we'll probably never see another Sonic Wave the rest of the run. And so I'm kind of interested in just picking this up for the utility, expecting that we'll find a Sunburst somewhere along the way. Okay, well, Moondreamer is kind of interesting. This is what our top end will eventually become. We haven't seen any Noxus packs, and so we're going to have one more shot at it on the next wild pick. But as it stands, Moondreamer is the top end we'll be looking for if we can't find any Noxus cards. We would like to have access to like the Minotaur or like Stun Spider, things like that. We're looking to pick up, but we may not be able to find them. But, before we get there, we are happy to pick up the Soldier and the Shield Bearer. Both of these are just extremely good early game cards. Okay, well, the Noxus didn't show up. I'm not willing to jump into to Bilgewater here. These cards just aren't good enough. And so we're going to have to take our second Hush with this Priestess. Both of these cards down here are just unplayable. Inspiring Mentor is kind of like on the borderline of being reasonable. Navori Highwayman's just terrible. We don't have any of the build-around stuff for these guys to make them mediocre. And so the Priestess out of these cards is still just the best out of these 6. I'm not real excited about having 2 Hushes, but we can do something with it. Okay, interesting. It's like if we're gonna do like Zenith Blade things, we do have to actually pick them up at some point. But then there's also a Mina here with a Daybreak Invoke, so this is actually pretty close. I think we'll be okay to pass on the Twin Disciplines Whimsy. It might be a little greedy. We did pass on the one Solar Winds to pick up this Sonic Wave, and we're not really guaranteed to see one. It's just that we're likely to see one, and so we're really going to be hurting if we don't find one of those just kind of universal removal spells. But these are all pretty close. I think we'll be okay without this. This will be our second Invoke, and the Obliterate Invoke costs 6, so these Priestesses are pretty good at finding them if you need to find it. And then Mina is just excellent piece of top end here. Okay. Interesting. There's the Infinite Mind. If we're wanting something to stun some things, this guy can at least do it. I think he probably just fits too well into the theme that we'll be trying to pull off to pass on. And so, especially since we won't be seeing any of those the Minotaur stun guys. If we took the Zenith Blade in the previous pack, this one would be a little bit more interesting. Not real happy having not picked any of these up. I just haven't quite seen any of the quality of cards that I want to exist with this one to come along. So I think we're good to pick up the Mind Splitter. Note, I didn't call it out on the patch notes, but they did kind of stealth buff the Empyrean into being a dragon. I don't think it really matters in the current scheme of things, but it could be relevant as in the future as the dragon cards get filled out more. But yeah, let's take the Mind Splitter. Okay, interesting. Another Claws of the Dragon Sonic Wave. Pretty cool to take that. We do need to be picking up some spells along the way. That might be another mistake here to let the Zenith Blade go. And I'm kind of interested in the Zenith Blade with these Claws of the Dragons, and that it makes it pretty easy to be playing 2 spells in a turn. But nonetheless, I think I just want to go for the Sonic Wave again. It won't be like ultra good here in like the first game, but I am pretty happy to be able to like Sonic Wave a Solari Priestess to just get this turd of unit off the board and get some kind of trade, or use it on our real units, be it these 3/3s or these 3/6s, or we're planning on having 3 Yasuos, so it should tick up in quality a little bit further into the run. Okay, well, this is an easy Stomper Moondreamer. Our top end is looking pretty reasonable, and so picking up Moondreamers is fine. Picking up more 2-drops is fine. Shadow Assassin I don't really think is playable anymore. If it's paired with something particularly good, then we're happy to pick it up. The Conspirator is like moderately interesting here when we're playing with like invoke cards. Just being able to replay a Solari Priestess is pretty good. Also, you know, does combo with Yasuo a little bit. But I think we're okay to just kind of push away from that. We you know, we're wanting to build around Yasuo, but we haven't seen a single Concussive Palm. We haven't seen any Will of Ionias. This has been like, we've maybe seen one other Conspirator. I can't quite remember, but this wouldn't surprise me if this was the first one. Maybe. I'm still planning on taking Yasuos, even though this it feels more like a Leona deck. Giddy. Maybe we do just have to go ahead and take the Conspirator here. We do have a we do have a reasonable number of 1-drops, and we do not. I don't think we have to take the Stomper Moondreamer. The Conspirator is not good here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm okay to pick up this Zenith Blade. If we can pick up one more throughout the run, then we'll be pretty happy with that. And these Shield Bearers are pretty fantastic with what we have going on here. Solitary Monk is reasonable, and you know, it does really help pop off this Yasuo, but we just like don't like actually need this. Like, if another one shows up along the way, we'll be okay to take it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to find these. Okay. Here we go. Here's a Concussive Palm with a Deep Meditation. I think this will work. We do have a lot of reasonable spells to be picking up with this, and then we do have 4 spells that activate the cheap thing if we want to, you know, cast Hush twice or play a Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. So I think we're happy to pick these up. I don't really want Recall, don't really want Fused Firebrand. There's a good argument that Moondreamer is the actual pick here, because we've done pretty good with our top end. Picking up the Firebrand isn't the end of the world, but it's just not quite a card I ever really want in my deck. I'm pretty happy to pick up this Deep Meditation. Okay. Interesting. I think I'm going to dive in on this other Zenith Blade. These Shield Bearers are just like exactly what our deck is looking for at this point. Like, these Yasuo decks are never like super aggressive. They play well with our Sonic Waves. They play good early. They play good late. They just kind of do everything. This is another reasonable set down here with this Behold the Infinite, but I'm kind of going out of my way to pick up this second Zenith Blade as well. Okay, well, here's our top end. the second Moondreamer with the Behold the Infinite. It's a pretty easy pick here. We aren't doing barrier things. We don't want 3 Hushes or any more White Flame Protectors. I think we already have 2. Just way too much of both of these. This is just kind of everything that we want. Okay. Interesting. If we're going to have to trade out this rush, because I don't want to get rid of Startled Stomper. I would be okay again with more shield bearers, but not at the cost of our one deep meditation. It's just I think this Yone, if we're going to push this Yasuo any further, is just kind of a requirement. He just fits in. Like our top end looks so good. I think I'm pretty happy to add this in. Like I don't think this is a deck where Rush is going to be like super good, because it's like we're just focusing on these shield bearers and then units that already have quick attack, and then Young Witch giving quick attack. I just don't think it's ultra important here. So let's pick up this Yone. I like it. Interesting. It's still got some like Yasuo themes to it. I think, all in all, it would have been a lot better if we would have just, dove in and just full built around Leona. But the time will come for that. I would have just been like, I don't know if it would have been easier to find a Noxus pack. Well, I mean, it clearly be easier to find them in the future when these cards like Leona don't show up as frequently, but nonetheless, here this is reasonable start. I got kind of like off track. I was trying to think to myself if like what we think about just playing 2 and 2, playing 2 Leonas, 2 Yasuos, because Yasuo is not getting good early. He, like hitting units for the 2 damage is pretty relevant, but it's not something that like we have to go out of our way to do. Like if we don't play Yasuo until like turn 8 when he's already flipped, then that's pretty okay with us. So I think we might try to pick up 2 Leonas and then 2 Yasuos. So that's Diana Twisted Fate.
Scorching light.
Happy to just go ahead and try to make some trades here. I want to just get this priestess down. Oh, that's aggressive. Is he just going to hit us with a interesting. Never want written in the stars. We drew both of our champions. I think we almost always just won Golden Sister.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
If he's just gonna like run out a the nab thing, I think that's what we're gonna get hit with here.
Chosen of the moon. Chosen of cowards
we'll get some value out of her.
I will be heard. Believe or burn.
Not the end of the world.
Trespassers!
Start doing stuff with Leona.
Solari faith is the burning light of the sun. Lunari
faith
is the sharp gleam
really
of light
close to flipping. We do need one more Daybreak card, but we've almost got the old Leona Yasuo combo going. Do we want to try to trade her for this? I think we probably do. This combination of factions doesn't have combat tricks here. So if he wants to put 2 damage onto her, it's okay.
I don't think so. Run away!
All right, none of these cards are super exciting. I do want to be able to Sonic Wave Resonating Strike next turn. This takes 3 mana, so I don't really want to play any more than 3 here. So how does this go? I mean, I don't want to just Yasuo. Young Witch Blade Scout's kind of awkward, but we can keep him from just drawing a card here.
The planets align.
Interesting set of cards. Maybe we do just give up on this, like actually needing to get a Sonic Wave hit in next turn. Oh, that's the end of it? Okay. Works for me.
Lulu! Where'd she go?
Leave, Bob.
Sure. Okay. So this will be a pretty easy hook onto this this Abyssal Eye. I'm just like not worried whatsoever about this Diana. So we'll get the hook here. We can give our Golden Sister a quick attack. He can't hit either of these. And we'll have a good hook in on this Abyssal Eye. Maybe we should probably get the hook in with Leona. I'm going to use Leona, then we can't give her a quick attack. This is okay. Right, like we're doing this.
Way, go!
There's not a whole lot of ways for him to just be dealing 1 damage. Or, yeah, here, I like this more. Oh no, we can't. We can't get our Claws of the Dragon down. Because let's see, they shouldn't have any ways to deal damage. You can like Blessing of Targon the Abyssal Eye, which is kind of awkward, but you can't directly kill this.
Skill and grace to tear your breath away. Come on, Rib!
Okay. Sure.
Ignorant.
It's a decent hush. It's not the end of the world, though.
Rib, run!
Still pretty far ahead on board. The Abyssal Eye here is kind of awkward, but our board is pretty good.
Never surrender!
Let's start. Behold a celestial card. I mean, you're just a dragon. I was like, it would be nice to have. So how does this end up playing out? Like I think we just want to take the Trickster, because we're going to be we're just going to be playing the Mind Splitter next turn and then Yasuo the following turn. We're not going to have many times to actually fit that 7-drop in. Okay. Or Deep Meditation. That's something I'd like to have. It's getting a lot of card advantage off of that Pilfered Goods. Sure. Okay. Not super worried about anything that's doing here. We'll go ahead and trade this out. This gives us a really good open next turn, and then we can just lock up whatever 2 units he has on board, if any, with the Mind Splitter.
Unwavering strength. Meet destiny.
That's suspect. If he has like a Twisted Fate or something, that would make sense. But
My boat, my rules.
this is an awkward dude to be hitting with the Mind Splitter. It's just like, does he ever have a 3-cost unit here? Because we're in such a bad spot if he just passes back to us. It's kind of stuck popping this thing. Like, it's kind of an embarrassment of riches that we're bitching about here, but I don't think there's a lot of times where he just drops a unit here, especially since he did just play Deep Meditation. He's got it. I still stand by it. It's so bad for us if we just send it back and we don't get to play Yasuo or anything here.
Clad in shining sunlight.
Okay. Sure.
Make 'em bleed.
Death is like the wind,
Just go ahead and run it all out
always
there.
by my side.
I think this game's pretty over. This card's awful. Draw a random non-champion enemy hand. Okay. So we picked up our Hush. Sure.
With quiet steps, the dragon approaches.
I guess he picked up Claws of the Dragon as one of his cards. Jeez. Okay. Then do we ever just like open killing here? I don't
Lock the doors.
think we need to be resin, or we can challenge something and then just save the other half for later. So let's do this. Let's give Yasuo Challenger getting in.
It is time. My light shines.
He's gonna hang on. Can't grab this one. He's gonna hush our unit if he wants. So let's at least put a unit that'll survive a hush down here.
You act, but do not see.
Good game, friend. So yeah, I think I've kind of decided like I'm willing to do 2 and 2. 2 Yasuo, 2 Leona, and so whichever one kind of like looks better here, I'll be okay with knowing that we're going to get kind of like forced into one or the other a little bit down the road. And I think I want to take this Leona. It's got the shield bearer that we've been looking for. It's got the sunburst that we skipped on earlier, and we're convinced that we were just going to see one show up. And then I would, this is actually a really good Yasuo pack as well. We don't have any Ravoons. Picking up Invokes is always fine. But I think those Leona cards are just too important. And we'll just be kind of forced to take a Yasuo in the next pack. There's the Invoke deck. Drop a juicy curve on this guy. That's all the shield bears. I think we can hang on to 2. That's fine. We don't have a lot of 1-drops to be like hard bargaining for.
Unyielding light. Burn away doubt.
Let's see if he's gonna pop off that Behold. Do it. Must be nice. I mean, I don't want to have to be sonic waving this thing, but it is an option that we have.
Footprints here.
Clad in
Look at this, my
shining
unit's
sunlight.
better. My unit's better at combat than yours. The dumb card. Okay. So I don't quite want to be doing all this stuff. I don't really care about this scavenger. So I think I'm good to just go ahead and spend a Zenith Blade. And then I'm going to Sonic Wave down this Faces of the Old One. I don't want him just doing all this ramp shit to us the rest of the game. And if we get a trade on Shield Bearer on this thing, we're pretty okay with it. It's kind of scary attacking into a potential
Scorching light.
a potential Frostbite with this Firebrand, but
Can't hurt trolls.
we just get a trade. That's okay with me. Okay, let's see what we find. Kind of interested in Meteor Shower because it lets us pop this thing for 1. Might need to be doing that. Don't really want the charge thing. Another, like, I don't think we also need like giant unit at this point either. It's just like if we want to hit this for damage, we can hush it, I guess. We do physically lose a hush. Let's just take big unit. I don't like how any of that pans out there.
The trolls are going to war!
Yeah, this is about all we got here. We'll be able to start moving through with our units next turn. May be able to attack with this Moondreamer and have him not block. See what he does. I don't think that's too greedy. There's a world where he doesn't want to block with this thing. Okay, we'll just let it go. It does kind of suck. I mean, we got to start playing this really slow, and his deck should be a lot better than just playing it really slow than our deck is. But we can let this go. We can take this hit and start dropping our Yone.
Only I can quell the wind.
Seems reasonable. I mean, Yone is a good attack next turn, then we can drop the Mind Splitter and hopefully cancel 2 of his expensives. It's reasonable. Sure. He's not super excited about playing this slow game against Trundle. Discarded a 3/3. Sure. So we'll just have to burn a hush onto this, which is okay. It's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, hang on. Oh man, I messed that up. I thought that was his attack token. That was not ideal.
I'm gonna make a U-sickle! You're in my kingdom now!
That was 100% terrible. I just had a brain fart and thought that I was going to be able to make some things happen there. How do we get out of this now? I think we still want to be playing the Mind Splitter, but we have to do it after combat. This is okay. Just let this happen.
The trolls are going to war! Win all!
Okay, well, he'll attack now that he's played this. I don't think we're dead here. Spixie Sketcher can hook here, this can hook here. We could still block something with this. Man. Okay, well. Leona will hit this thing, so we can go ahead and do this.
One smack'll do!
Brilliant soul. Okay.
thought humans were stupid.
Like, we have to be doing this. It's going to be domed by this so hard. Just don't have any way to take his power off the board. Okay. Cerulean Soul's going to flip.
I'm the forger of stars.
I mean, we should be okay as long as he doesn't have that. Oh, I don't know. We probably can't close this out fast enough now. It really, it turns out it's really painful whenever you skip a turn when you when you don't mean to. Like we're okay up to this point. It's just him being able to deal with that turn we skipped was a real problem. So can't have this thing challenging our Mind Splitter, so I think we have to go ahead and hush, and then we can play a card after the fact. Let's actually just do this. Let's pop you.
Rain from a cloudless
We can
sky.
play Leona, and she'll stun Aurelian Soul.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it! Chosen of the sun.
Follow moon or sun? Silly child, are they not one?
Oh, was she not? Wasn't she stunned? Oh, we weren't. They broken. That's my bad. No, okay. this one's done. But yeah, that was too awkward. Like skipping that one turn was just brutal. We had that lined up to where we were going to be able to get Yon on board and then kind of lock up two of his units and then follow up with a big dude, and then we just skipped over our whole turn when I had a brain fart there. It's just, it is what it is. Everybody does it on occasion. It's unfortunate that it happened right there. But nonetheless, I don't want to trade out my Sonic Waves even for Claws of the Dragons. The Shadestalker is arguably better than Stomper, but I don't think we're going to be hitting these Nightfalls too frequently, so I want to hang on to our Overwhelm unit. And I don't really want Conspirator. It kind of plays to the theme a little bit, but we don't have a lot of like value targets for this. Like we can't do aggressive things with it because we only have the 2 1-drops. We don't have a whole lot of invoke cards to be getting value from this guy with. Like we do have 2 Moondreamers and 2 of the Priestesses, but we don't have a whole lot of Conspirator targets, and so I'm just going to go ahead and skip all of these. Okay. Let's see if we can go through this one without just skipping any of our turns. I was happy with how like the follow-up turns went through there. Like there were some turns to where we skipped, we had a whole lot of mana open, and that was fine. It's just that one turn where we would have been able to start just applying like real pressure to him, and we messed it up. Let's see, I think we're happy with these. Do you ever want to keep the Priestess? She's probably pretty safe since two Karmateric, yeah, she should be safe. That's a nice curve now. Sure. Okay, it's awkward. I don't like quite want to just be running out our daybreaks here, but I think I do want to take control of the board while we can here.
My faith protects me.
Punish transgressions.
Ooh, that does punish those transgressions. Okay, no, a lot happier with this aggression that we're able to put forth here. Just not doing anything. We want to just come in for all the damage. He's not going to be AoEing us or anything here. This is interesting. I think we do want to add this. We can just Sonic Wave Resonating Strike whatever he plays. I assume he has to play a unit here. What? Is this guy even?
Follow the
Is
horizon.
this guy even here? Just straight what? Okay. But the idea is that, you know, if we can kill one of his units with 3/6 guy, and then be able to deep meditation next turn on the cheap, would have been pretty reasonable.
How y'all doing tonight?
Okay. Let's do this. We're going to be Sonic Waving next turn. The awkward thing with playing the Priestess is we can't like hit a unit that we can actually play. So let's just behold, see if we can't find one of these cheap units. Traveler will have to do. The Serpent will also do.
I've become who I was always meant to be.
Okay. I think we should be good now. We can still beat an Electrostatic Shock. We have a great hook on the Shredder. If he just has like a 1-for-1 removal spell, then we can still kill with Sonic Wave. I think we're good here.
Look within.
Devotion to battle.
You just rage quit on us. I'm surprised he stayed this long. If that's the way it panned out, his draw was terrible. Seems like the old rage quit. I'm sorry, LGZ rocks. That. Oh god, he's got something. Oh snap! Spoke too soon. Tapped out 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Rain from a cloudless sky.
Okay.
Trespassers!
Probably should have played that beforehand. I'm not used to getting to play with Claws of the Dragon. We could have bursted him into play. Got him in on that open attack. Probably should have done that. Alright. Picking up a Dragon Rage for Hush is interesting. I don't want 2 Hushes. I'm okay with 1. Not real excited about 2. Dragon Rage is just extremely powerful. Don't want Fused Firebrand. Solari Soldier is good, but not at the cost of one of our Zenith Blades. Really want to hang on to 2 of these. But I think I will pick up the Dragon Rage. It's able to do such big chunks of damage. Just to play, it's like play Dragon Rage on one of these John ass Celestials. Just dome them for 10. Don't even have to do it like an atrocity. Okay, Nocturne that picked up Diana. That's how it works. Oh no, it's not. We took Yasuo first. Okay, well again, I'm happy to keep these 2 drops. 2 of them feels like a reasonable number. Just such monsters at taking control of the early game. Okay, Diana.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
See if he brings that big open on us if we're getting shut down by the shield bearer.
Heed the path.
So we want to add. Seems like he's probably just gonna bank because he can't Nightfall here. So I think we want to play these because then his play next turn would likely be the 5/3 guy, the 3/3 Nightfall that gets +2 attack. So I don't really want to be adding a two attack unit to the board. Sure. Could just trade one of these for the Bark Beast. Probably. Because he's not worth a hush at this stage of the game. And well, perhaps I like this. Let's try to go over top of this. We can hush this next turn if we determine that to be necessary. Also just kind of cool with passing. Good, he's got some interaction for us here. Oh, glimpse beyond. Okay.
Protector.
So what's the worst that happens if we attack now? He has that the Nightfall Vile Feast. Pretty okay with that. Bringing that Thunder post combat. How sick would that have been if he played that in combat and we had the rush? Pretty sick. I was here to tell you guys how sick it was. It would have been pretty sick. Okay. I think realistically, we probably just get a shield bearer and a stomper down. That's not what he does. Shut down these attacks real quick.
You trespass on sacred lands, unbeliever!
You know not the meaning of sacred.
Ever want a bank? I don't think so.
Whatever the cost.
These are fine. We're not. He's not doing anything aggressive enough to really give us pause here. I am fine to just play another Zenith Blade onto this thing. Oh, work as well. Huh. This is pretty reasonable written in the stars. We're pretty happy to pick up either Leona or Yasuo here, especially getting big Yasuo. Can sunburst it, which is awkward. Let's take Golden Sister like always. Golden Sister's so good. Don't quite care about any of his units since we have the sunburst in our hand. It's just the question is, do we want to just draw a champion right now? Probably not.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
Yes, Yasuo's nowhere near flipping, and he's the one that we're gonna hit 2 out of 3 times. Was he? Yeah, we haven't stunned or recalled anything. Then Leona is flipped. Sure.
You trespass on sacred lands, unbeliever!
You know not the meaning of sacred.
Okay. We're just gonna have to build up a big hush for next turn. None of these attacks here are any good. This hush isn't even particularly good. Let's see if he opens on us. I mean, if we get to play a shield bearer and double hush, it's pretty big. I don't really want to hush right now since okay. Sure.
Daylight's star will rule the skies.
Okay. I mean, I think what we're lining up here is we just want to Zenith Blade our golden sister.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
And then next turn we're going to open, and the next turn we'll have a lot of hush plays that we can make. It should be really tough for him to interact with her. That's one way to do it. I take it back. There apparently is easy ways for him to interact with her. Okay, I don't quite feel the need to sunburst any of this stuff. This is the only unit that like we're moderately interested in hitting with Hush, and so I think we're good to just get in. How do these line up? If we attack with, just say we attack with everything. The priestess blocks here, the goat blocks here, the 3/3 may or may not block our silver sister, which we would then protect. So I think we can attack with everything except the 2/3 and the 1/2. We are just lining up to play the Mind Splitter next turn on whatever champion he drew in one other card.
Moonlight reveals.
Devotion through battle!
Okay.
Hide no longer.
Okay, works for me. The new question is, do we just go ahead and deep meditation? I'm not super worried about banking the spell mana. I don't care about hushing any of this stuff. Let's just go ahead and play it while we can. Then we'll play the Mind Splitter next turn. Is this followers? No, it's 2 enemies. Okay. What happens if we start getting like real cute through here? This is probably worth sunbursting. We'll have the initiative. Well, it's gonna start to get awkward. This Mind Splitter he's tough to get down at the appropriate time.
For truth.
We can't just like quite find this open attack that that makes him particularly juicy to get in here. Get behind this.
I am the bulwark against
To stun his good
darkness.
unit. If we did some trades onto these stupid
The
things, it's
dawn
fine.
has arrived.
We're getting to where
With
we can
its
just start
light,
clearing out
the
his board.
Solari will unite the heavens. Behold the sun's holy light.
First tick on Yasuo. Shit. Turd of a card.
The Isles will bloom again.
Scary is this. Can 6/6 our Leona and take this down? Okay with this.
Skill and grace to tear your breath away.
Feel the sun's glory.
Let's just bring it all. He's gonna get trades on our 3/2s. It's gonna happen at some point. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way and get this extra damage in here.
I know your true heart.
kill us with a Shade Stalker next turn. So I think we should finally be able to line up a good Mind Splitter. It is unfortunate that, you know, we kind of threw away the Hush when he has this elusive on board, but if he doesn't like specifically kill us this turn, I think that we'll close out the game on our turn, between stunning 2 of his units and then being able to stun 2 other things with Yone on our turn. Probably ought to just stun his stuff now and give up on this Mind Splitter ever doing anything. Do kind of like the idea of that. He's going to open hit us. Are we going to die to Pale Cascades? Nope. Okay. Okay. I feel like Golden Sister's the one that we want. It's just that we can't play it. We have to be like getting cards that we can play here. Next turn will finally be our turn where we play that thing. I think we do just take the Golden Sister. That stun these.
Only I can quell the wind.
We'll get a big open, and then we can play the Mind Splitter after the fact. I think this is how we need to do it. Really use a Morning Light. Be pretty useful for all these Leonas that we have going on. Sure.
Forward in the name of the Solari.
You got it.
Calm mind and
Okay, so
open
we survive.
heart greet the
We
night.
can just attack with everything. He's going to get some blocks. Pretty sure I'm okay to just have Leona die here. Not. Maybe, maybe not. This is okay.
Unwavering
We're
strength.
pretty low on life. We don't have a lot of choices here. We don't have Ravoon in our deck, so we're not getting a lot of big Leona plays. This is
You were
fine.
misguided. Must we fight?
You cannot hold us down.
Sun sets.
Ah! A fallen petal.
Alright, cool. Sure. We play either of these right here. You probably wait till next turn to play either Nocturne or Diana.
Lulu! Where'd she go?
We got some blockers and things. We can certainly shut down whatever he's doing here. And try to add the Golden Sister next turn. Okay. You gonna get us? You gonna Doom Beast us out? Oh no. Oh no.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
Like we just turned the corner, no more Doom Beasts. Okay, okay, we can beat these cards. Sure.
Is my domain.
Oh, I highlighted my unit. I don't even know what this. I don't know what the Nocturne Flip does. Your other allies have fearsome when you play a unit do something. Okay. Oh, it was our line going over here. Okay.
Come on, Rib!
The hour is mine.
Eat. Okay, so we're not at lethal, but gaining 5 health here should be pretty huge. And pick up a hush. Oop. All right, boys. I think the corner's been turned. Yeah, we flipped our Yasuo. Sure, well, can't just heal himself? Heal an ally and your Nexus. Oh, okay. Sure.
The moon is our queen. The night,
Leona is
her
a problem.
kingdom.
There's some not terrible draws on the other side of the board here.
A new moon rises.
And seed descends on feeble minds.
My faith protects me.
See if he's got another Nightfall to take down our splitter. Okay. I think we need to keep our young witch.
We are one and the same, sunshine.
Oh no, we don't have any
No
daybreaks.
more
Oh,
lies,
snap.
you naughty.
No more
dead now?
lies.
5, not dead. Alright, he can Diana hook this thing and then we just take
Face your
okay.
heretic.
Could have killed us. Okay. He's got it.
I will be heard.
Nope, you need to hook our unit and have your Diana die, then you'll deal 7. Let's see if we get an extra let's see if this game's over or not. Nice. Nice.
I will
Okay. Give us a
find
little more time. Kind of elusive damage are we looking at here? We get that should be lethal with the elusives. Oh no, it's not. I was looking at my health total. We certainly aren't doing 13 here. So I'm kind of like leaning towards just hitting with these elusives, though. Might as well play this. This is never blocking anything. So let's just go ahead and get the 2 damage in. And then we'll get the quick attack Mind Splitter going.
Light flowers upon my blade.
The promise of a new moon upon
We should have
me,
just opened, shouldn't we?
contender.
I forget about this Nocturne ability.
This way! Go!
Yeah, we should have just opened. That was silly. Yeah, he gets a better Bark Beast at the cost of this bad unit. It's not good. We've not played this round to the best of our abilities, boys. Hopefully still have 2 blockers. If he plays a unit, then we lose a little bit of stuff here. Moondreamer was a big
The
hit.
journey is difficult. These will protect you.
More Golden Sisters. Probably just have to take Living Legend, right? Just so much power at this stage of the game.
Stars bright twilight, siblings in the sky tonight.
Night descends.
He's dead. He didn't play his gem. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. There's no way we're just dead, right?
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
It says this thing. Okay, I think we're fine. ever open kill here? No, we only got 5 as far as that's concerned. Yes, whoa, right not on time. Behold a celestial card. This refills your spell mana. To add in here. Which ones are these? The Overwhelms? That's probably who we want.
See?
Play these
Footfalls make
Overwhelms
rocks
and then
slide.
we'll give everything +2/+2. You can give our units -1 attack 1 time. This should do it.
Pass into orbit's path, move aside or face its wrath.
This will be 11. That's where we're at, so we can play the Warrior to replace this.
All
We can
beauty is transient.
make our Inspiration 1 cheaper. This game's over. What spells are being cast? Okay. So this is gonna take a hot minute, but I think we're okay now.
But war is futile.
Okay, Jesus, took long enough. We've been trying to throw away some of these games, but we're making it at the end. Trying our best to lose on occasion. I know, bud. Come bask in how terrible we're doing. Alright, so we're just taking the Yasuo pile. It's unfortunate at this stage of the game, but at least these are reasonable cards. I wish we had like a Ravone or two if we're going to end up so Leona heavy, but we don't have a whole lot of choice. So, Yasuo it is. Sejuani with Noxus in it. Okay. Let's hang on to this too. Should probably hang on to Leona as well, right? Be on the even attacks. She should be pretty reasonable on 4. Hey, we got our flip. Get that morning light. Okay. Oh, buddy.
Smell that?
Oh, the recently nerfed war chefs. I mean, it's still good. It's just, I don't know if I prefer to have a 2/2 to a 1/3 or not. I guess it's pretty deck dependent. Excuse me. Here's why you don't want to just have all the 4-drops in the world. This has been a pretty awkward draw. We've managed our curve pretty well, but this will happen on occasion.
No one goes hungry.
I think we just want to get stats on the board here. See if he adds. Maybe we do have to play our champions against a Freylord deck. It's pretty easy for them to just add units that are bigger than ours. So I think we'll probably just plan on not attacking. We can take another hit from Badger Bear. Let's just start doing Yasuo damage here.
But watch your back.
We'll play it. He may get an attack in. Just probably not. Like, even with one spell mana, we can lose him to a Radiant Strike on Badger Bear. And, like, it's just not a spot where I want to be spending a Hush to save our Yasuo. It's not, like, worth the little bit of damage we'd be pushing through. Big decision time. It's just more time for kitty pets. Who knows what's up? Okay. Perhaps he was expecting the attack there.
First light illuminates the land. Sunlight
Okay,
blinds.
so that stops a lot of the problem with his board. This thing will be an issue at some point.
Feel the sizzle! Can't fight on an empty stomach!
Take this 4. It's not the end of the world. Considering attacking next turn.
Eyes bigger!
It's a big morning light to pop the Screeching Dragon. This doesn't seem quite good enough. That's never happening. Oh, buddy. Do we ever just want to attack with Yasuo? I don't quite think so. Let's see what this pops up. Will be good if we're just dropping one Hush onto these boards. Behold a Celestial, we can't do that. So it's either the Sister or the Serpent.
Strike while the planets align.
It's just kind of awkward. We can't actually kill anything with the Serpent. Like the Golden Sister, it's never bad. Might need to just kind of like get over that we're going to be losing our Yasuo. But I mean, we can't just like Hush this next turn before it can try to get into combat. It's just like these proactive Hushes are pretty terrible. Makes it not as terrible.
Quietly.
I want to get this 2 damage in. We're fully banked. And then this can block Badger Bear or something next turn if it needs to. Seems pretty reasonable.
Down from the trees!
That's another way to do it. I guess he can open on us to deal with this stuff. But... What? What? Okay. Oh, just a Leona. It's like Yasuo was the one that we're wanting to protect here. Okay.
Looking for this?
Let's go ahead and get this thing off the board, I guess. Oh, hang on. What happened? Hang on. That was not proper. Oh, it still just has health. That was okay. Oops. I was thinking that the that it was, you know, like a 4/3, and then that bonus was just going to fall off. I was incorrect.
The light of my star warms
I'm pretty
the heavens.
pretty bad about doing that. It's okay. It's all right. Sure. Righty. I'd like to get this board set up to where that we can just pop him with Mina next turn. I don't think we're quite going to be able to do that. So if we can't do that, then like what's the next thing? I think we can. Like even if he just opens onto Leona, I just don't think we care. Like we're not, we've lost our like one Yasuo. We have one Yasuo left. He's not close to flipping. Leona's not close to flipping. I think this puts us in a spot to where we can play Young Witch. We can get in a big attack with the two Golden Sisters and the Witch, and then next turn if he's like opens on us to pop Leona for a trade, fine. And if he doesn't, then we'll smash him with Mina. I think I'm pretty okay with all those outcomes. This lets us attack with Moondreamer as well. We'll probably play a big dude here, but
Anything for the right coin.
Carrots can fly, Rib! Okay! Ow!
still get in for 6.
Zoom!
Go stun our Stomper. Sure.
I'm getting warmed up.
Nope. Guess Young Witch is smaller.
Nothing can stop me.
Just need to do this right. He can replay one of these cards. Just don't care about.
Free and lonesome as a summer breeze. Might not have wings, but they'll fly.
That's right. Do not have wings, but they'll fly. Right now, he can't just like replay Minotaur Reckoner. It's just not
You
good
pay,
enough.
I fight.
I guess he showed us. He can do that.
Scared stiff. Huh.
Okay.
Cosmos call.
I rise.
Get him in, right? Say this blocks here. This has to block here, and we're still lethal. Exact these on 10. Then if this goes wrong, we can non-splitter the next turn. Okay. There you have it.
Soul Invictus!
Let's see. Don't really want to. Oh, got a Ravoon. We do have enough 2-drops to just let this Claws of the Dragon go. I think this is just we've wanted Ravoon so much, so many times that it's just impossible to pass them up here. Feats Firebrand for Hush is an 85, but Claws of the Dragon for Ravoon's an 83. Interesting. I'd do like every trade before doing this, and I would skip before doing this. Anywho. we got our Ravoon. Right. So I'm hooked on the win rate use rate over here on the right. Curious how all that pans out. Indeed. What was that? Fiora? It's probably Fiora built around. Fiora Quinn. Okay. It's an interesting set. I do kind of want to pick up a 2-drop that isn't Claws of the Dragon, but I think we kind of have to hang on to it. I think this is probably pretty reasonable. We don't find another 2, then I mean, there's nothing stopping us from just playing it. Let's go ahead and run this out. We don't have any ways to boost this. Can get kind of awkward against Fiora decks playing these kind of smaller-ish units and giving her kind of free targets to hit. But oops, come on, bud.
Closing in on the mark.
I could win this one with kitty butt in my face. Cool. We'll just let this slide on past. I'm not super worried about getting down this Claws of the Dragon, and an interesting meteor shower. We can just straight play this next turn. I think we probably just want to go for value though. We don't have like a whole lot going on here, so I think I probably would want to just play like the 4 next turn, and then see, if we can't just find a 5 or something.
Catch me if you can.
If he really wants to spend a combat trick on one of these units, we're fine with trading actual any card ever for one of these. It's weird. It's like if he's playing like a Fiora built around, like it's strange that he would play that Challenger bird, even if you don't have the Fiora in your hand.
For our allies.
Okay. Not real huge on doing anything with Yasuo here. We just don't have any cards to take advantage of it here, and I think we just continue on with our curve. Golden Sister is pretty reasonable, but she's just going to trade in with this this thing right here. I think at least with this, like we can threaten whatever unit he tries to play next turn, and then if he just doesn't play anything, then we have a value attack into this with 4 free damage. How do we feel about this guy? Let's just make the value play.
Injustice.
Like, I have to assume that he's going to try to do the same thing to us next turn. Ooh, picked up. Yes, we can do things here. Let's start with this. Let's go ahead. Like that. It's unfortunate. Like if we want to Leona, then we won't have access to this Yasuo next turn. But I think this is good enough to just stun the Lancer.
The dawn has arrived. With its light, the Solari
He's gonna get the Valor hook onto the warrior, but then the rest of his usage of Quinn here is pretty bad. And we do have another option here in going ahead and playing Zenith Blade to try to just put down a free Claws of the Dragon. I don't think we want to do that. I think all we're really looking to do here. Well, I would like to like spread out some damage, because I want to get Yasuo down and then play Yon on his turn. Okay, I think I'm good to just pass. We can pick up this Daybreak with the Zenith Blade, and then just play Yon after the fact. Get a big attack in. I like it. We're setting up this Infinite Mind Splitter to cause a Yasuo flip on our following turn. Let's just play it slow. Pretty okay with this.
A blade forged with blessed sunlight.
Laurent's born with blades in hand.
I'll do what must be done.
It's kind of... Oh. It's pretty tough for him to have a removal we actually care about here. And then if his play is to just take value block onto Solari Priestess, then you got it. Harsh Winds, absolutely. Love just seeing a damage prevention Harsh Winds at this stage of the game. Okay. This seems pretty reasonable. We're not like ultra worried about any of his attacks here. We can maybe do something to try and bring down Leona. So I'm just gonna pass here. She's not like ultra important like at this stage, but like we're so close to doing things with the Mind Splitter and Yasuo that I'd like to see her stay on board here. If he's just taking the value hook, I'm pretty cool with that.
Return anew.
You can count on me.
Could not care less about that. So let's load up this Mind Splitter with the cat in my face. Let's load up the Mind Splitter with this. This will also flip our Leona. We'll have a big attack with this, and then we can add this flipped Yasuo to the board to start getting these full hits in here, and then we'll have our flipped Leona to be getting these Daybreak blasts with our Yasuo as well. It sucks, you know, kind of the first one goes in on a Quinn it can't kill, but it's okay nonetheless.
Winter take you.
Sure. Wing Dreamer. Oh, hang on. Shit. I should have played Yasuo. That's okay. So do we ever want to Written in the Stars? If we hit Yasuo, it's bad, but if we hit Leona, then it's pretty good. I don't think so. I think we just have to take the messenger.
That one,
That was bad. I miscounted my mana here. I meant to be playing Yasuo, but this is still okay nonetheless.
It is time.
Cosmos call.
Sound the alarm.
Like my blade?
If he wants to play back-to-back or something, that's not back-to-back. He'd be blocking with the archer. Nonetheless, this is whatever tricks and such he has here are fine with me. Sure.
I fight for the fallen.
It'd be a bit awkward not having our Yasuo here to with this big Daybreak we're going to be dropping, but still think we're in a pretty okay spot. You don't have to silence this Radiant Guardian to hit it with the Sunburst, but getting a free stun on the Blade Keeper is kind of nice. We're on Asgard. So yeah, we're going to have to just go ahead and pop this. Then Leona will stun the Asgard. He's just got some bad units over here, and then we'll actually add our Yasuo this turn. Little whoopsie daisies on the old Yasuo plane. That is kind of annoying with this Asgard, though, since Yasuo can't actually take you down.
Blinds.
No one is promised tomorrow.
Return home, Yasuo.
You know there's nothing for me there.
Excuse me. Okay, alright, there's our way to take down Asgard.
My faith protects me.
Alright, good game. Pretty sloppy game, but Leona's just super good.
I will gain
So,
my honor.
sometimes the cards carry you, sometimes you carry the cards, you know. Okay. Kind of want to hang on to the claws. I don't think we really want to trade any of these. Like these, we can still be giving up on these claws of the dragons, but I don't want to like drop too far away from having a bunch of 2-drops. Like I know we have like 5. Where are we at? Like 5, 6, 7 that we would care about at that point. Like 8 feels like a pretty reasonable number. Don't think we want to pick up this Behold the Infinite. Concussive Palm is a reasonable trade. Like, we'd love to pick up some of these. It's just, we're like not like doing a whole lot in this way. Like, the way with the previous Yasuo decks tended to go was like you needed to be chaining off like Stun Spiders and Concussive Palms, and then you'd eventually play like an Intimidating Roar for 2 or 3 to get your Yasuo flipped. But now it's like we're just getting like 1 from Leona, like 2 from a Yone, 2 from a Mind Splitter. And it was like we're just not like chaining off stuns as we were previously. I'm just I guess kind of long story short, I would like to have Concussive Palm, but just not at the cost of Dragon's Rage. And Sunburst is fine. We have 2. We don't 2 is certainly better than 3, and I'd really just prefer to have 1, but it's okay here. We can let that go. Diana in here. Right. Kind of tempted to keep Sonic Wave. It's just so good against like both Diana and Lulu. I think I'm gonna hang on to it. It's just kind of our early game interaction. Like, we don't have to play Shieldbreaker on 2. We can just wait and play it on 4.
Bless the faithful and
That
fear
probably
the heretics.
doesn't happen when we draw Leona.
Devotion to
but-
battle.
Let's see what he plays here. Okay, that just kind of solves it for us.
Clad in shining sunlight. My
Just
faith
straight up got
protects
this
me.
flipped Leona on 4. We can't not do
Burn
that.
away doubt. You cannot sway me. Clad in shining sunlight.
Right, let's get into combat. This is the problem I have with Leona, is these early game units are too good. She either needs to be like slower,
My journey begins here and
and like have these units weakened, or she needs her top end weakened if she's going to be more focused on these early game kind of things. This is going to be a brutal series for him. Like, no matter what he adds next turn, like, he's going to get a unit stunned and just get time walked by this Leona. Also leaves us in a spot to where we can just daybreak Sunburst.
The dawn has arrived.
Carry her light across the mountain.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
Where's that Yasuo now? This morning, this morning light will just
revealed.
AoE everything.
Come on, Rib.
Okay, I'm gonna let the daybreaks go. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull off this Sonic Wave Resonating Strike to get Claws of the Dragon down, and then I think we'll just hook kill this young witch.
Skill and grace to tear your breath away. Within my grasp.
Okay, so then we just kind of spread out the damage. Like, if he wants to block, one of our bigger units, we don't want to just put all of that damage on Leona. It's just pretty far ahead of him here. I have to imagine we'll have a pretty tough time losing this game. Sure. That's my problem with the supports deck. If you don't really hit that big aggressive curve at the beginning of the game, you kind of end up in these spots to where you have a support unit that can't attack or block, and It's just kind of awkward. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pop this Usari. And that will stun his squirrel on the backside. We can open with Sun Guardian next turn that will also stun this Caretaker.
Glorious light rains down.
Attack with picks if you want.
A sacred guardian fueled by holy light.
Sure. We can still Sonic Wave Resonating Strike down this Caretaker. Just don't quite care about any of the stuff that he's doing. We want the Swole Squirrel to have to block Leona. So we want to do this, this. We just lethally with the back end on this. Cool, let's get ready for that final battle.
Daylight everlasting.
Alright, what the fuck is Bastion? Give an ally spell shield this round. Interesting set across the board. I think we just want to pick up this Ravoon since we've really kind of morphed a bit into being a Daybreak deck. Moondreamer, it's arguably, like, I think the way we kind of look at this is if we didn't have like this top end like Yone, Mind Splitter, Mina, even Sun Guardian fits in with that, like then the invoke cards really shoot up in value. Like if you end up drafting these decks, like I really talk about a lot, to where you know, our top end is just like a specific set of epics, and then removal spells, and then you know, what do you do if you never find the epics? You can't just have you know, your top end here be, say, like Deep Meditation, Ravoon, and then like one of these cards down here. It's just not enough. And Moondreamer fits in there extremely well. Just such an incredibly powerful card. But I think Ravoon is probably, in this style of deck, just a little bit better. Like, I want the opportunity to try out Eye of the Dragon, but I think it's just going to be in like a supports deck. Like I have a lot of high hopes of giving this Dragonling a boost with Lulu or Young Witch or something. It seems pretty nice, but it's not what we're quite doing here. And then Bastion seems like moderately interesting when we have these kind of build around champions like Yasuo. I just don't think we need it. Not something I go out of my way to find. Like, I think I'd rather have it if we were in like a Swole Scroll deck, or a like Fiora, or just one of these like full, like, I have one unit going tall that I care about kind of decks, as to where, you know, I don't think we've killed one unit with Yasuo this run, and so like he's just kind of whatever. So let's pick up this Ravoon here. I think he's more important towards what we're doing. Now this one is a little more interesting. If we're willing to get rid of both Moondreamers to pick up this 6th Shield Breaker, which I think I am kind of interested in. Like, again, like, you know, our top end has kind of like fixed itself. We don't really need to be like searching for these high value invokes, and this just plays towards everything that we're trying to do. Like, you know, I think, you know, the ship is, at this point, the ship has sailed on trying to be a Yasuo build around. You know, we can still do Yasuo things, but I think, you know, the way that we're going to pull off this game 7 is if, you know, we just have a flipped Leona and a stream of Daybreak units. And so I think we're cool to pick this up. The combat tricks are fine, but I don't think it's ultra important in this style of deck. And then I do want to hang on to the 1 Hush. Okay. Interesting. So I'm not getting rid of Yone ever. Jeweled Protector doesn't play particularly well here. We just don't have any elusives, and we don't have any recalls, and so he just doesn't get a whole lot of value. So it's like, do we want to pick up another Zenith Blade? I don't think we really want a 3rd one. Like the kind of more utility that this Deep Meditation gives us. I'm just going to go ahead and skip on that. Okay. interesting with the actual physical morning light. I think we probably do want to pick that up. It's just the Dragon's Rage is incredibly good, and we've morphed into a Leona deck. I went a little bit farther than I should have with trying to build around Yasuo, and so if we had like the 3 Leonas, I think this would be a little bit worse. Let's look at these other ones real quick. I don't want Whimsy. We have 2 Sunbursts. Then again, like the same kind of thing applies with the who's he called? The Bastion, the thing that gives Spell Shield. I'm not like super interested in picking one up. But this Morning Light, we're pretty good at going wide, and we have all these Daybreak cards. I think that we probably do just want to pick it up. I wish it would, be for a White Flame Protector or even Lamina, but I just don't think like we've really come down to a lot of these games to where, we were having trouble just like closing it out because our opponent was at 5. We have a lot of ways to just close out games. Let's pick that up. Oh, Lee Sin. We can't do it. I don't think I want any of these. I'm happy with the 2 Ravoons. I don't want Green Glade Duo. Lee Sin's probably better than just straight up better than Yasuo in this deck. But we won't do that to our boy today. Okay, and then a Sun Guardian for the Startled Stomper. I think I am interested in. We did pick up another Shield Breaker along the way, so we have 9 2-drops right now, and dropping down to 8 feels pretty okay for a card as powerful as Sun Guardian, especially when we just picked up a Morning Light. So let's go ahead and snatch that one up. All right, final battle begins. Same stuff. He got trade away his Yasuo for a for another Leona. It's kind of scary against the 4 Leona deck. He's gotta have one coming down on turn 4. It's unfortunate we don't have a 1-drop, so we can't flip her on 4, but she'll be flipped on 5. He's probably got it. I have to imagine that the 4 Leona deck. My imagination is off. I have to imagine the 4 Leona deck just has like every single Daybreak card ever. But not the case here.
No more hiding.
Unyielding light.
Willing to just try to trade this? Because it's unfortunate to run into this thing. We don't have a Daybreak yet, and I don't really want to sit around Morning Light, and I don't really want to just sit around and wait on one. Let's do this. Let's add Priestess. I think we certainly want the Traveler here.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way.
And if we get a trade for the Duskbringer on this thing, like we're gonna have to do it at some point. Let's just go ahead and do it now.
My faith protects me.
That has changed. I was intending on attacking. Like if he'd just played, like another like value 3/2 or something, I'd have been fine with trading this for the Duskbringer.
First light illuminates the land. Bask in the light's radiance.
Let's get our blocker down.
Clad in shining sunlight.
I think we want to bank up to 3. We're probably going to have to use this Hush at some point. Just Naga's Leona here. That'll get ours flipped for the future turns. We're not going to find a better target for these.
Sun sets.
It's unfortunate he's got 3 more of these waiting in the wings, but
Warriors of the Raharaka,
fine.
time is now.
We'll
We
follow
want to
you
just
to
bank
the
again.
edge of daybreak.
Probably have to. To check our stun count, still sitting at 0. But we'll start ticking that up here in a moment. Sure.
It's our time.
Okay. We don't have our Ravone or our Morning Light, so I think we're fine to just go ahead and start trading some of this stuff
Back
out.
heretic.
We'll take the 9. It's a little scary in that we don't want to get like super low, or he's gonna. It's real easy for him to just play like a flipped Leona and just stun our whole team. But we have to start trying to move forward with this.
Darkness.
He has his own
Daylight
sunburst,
breaks on
and
the
it kind of
battlefield.
sucks, but it is what it is at this point.
Glorious light rains down.
So I have to imagine if he's got it, he's gonna snap it off here. Now I think we do want to behold the infinite, so we just don't lose that 1 bit of spell mana. Falling Comet's a reasonable pickup. And is fairly weak, which is kind of suck. So let's start with the Traveler. See if we pick up one of these Celestial required cards, which we didn't.
It was my heart that led me here.
This is fine. I don't really want to add anything else here. To a degree, I just kind of want to save these daybreaks. Maybe we just add the Blade Scout, actually. Just popping for this 2 damage. And we'll have a good block next turn. Excuse me, I'm pretty okay with that. I don't want to obliterate Ravone. It is kind of an enabler, but we just can't beat a Leona. And so I wanted to save it for
To
her.
shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
It's going to be a real problem, though.
The dawn has arrived.
May it
We
never
should have
leave.
managed our mana a little better. 'Cause
Bask in the light's
if he opens with
radiance.
a Morning Light, then we're just dead next turn.
They picked the wrong row?
I mean, we can hush his Leona. Those things will
Closing in on the
go
mark.
on the stack, though, right? No, his Morning Light has to resolve first, so we can't hush her to stop me from AoEing off our team.
Warriors of the Raharaka, time is now.
We'll follow you to the edge of daybreak. We will not suffer unbelievers.
They will not escape punishment.
I think we want to get Yasuo down. We're so far away from getting him to flip. This doesn't seem particularly good here. we're off our daybreak, so we can't really add any of these. We can hush in combat. I think that's all we'll be trying to do here. Like he's certainly attacking. We just got to put some health in front of this stuff. He's going to Zenith Blade a Ravoon, which is fine. Oh, this thing, even better.
Devotion through battle!
Right, let's pop this.
Beauty charms while claws take hold.
This one's trouble.
You lack subtlety.
Pretty unhealthy. Right, let's just eat it. Okay. Sure how we'll get out of this one. We need some real good Yasuo hits. It's a reasonable start. Does he ever block our units here?
Burn away doubt!
So, like, he's gonna block with this. This is the one that we actually care about. We can concussive palm him down. Then I would say he'll just eat the 3 and not put his Ravoons in front of these other ones. But I do actually want this guy to take a touch of damage here, so that we can concussive palm it away. Because we can just block these forever.
You cannot sway me.
Warriors of the Raharak, our time is now!
We'll follow you to the edge of daybreak. My faith protects me.
Sorry. Distraction. Nothing too exciting happened. We played out the rest of our hand. He put a Zenith Blade on this Ravoon. It's kind of unfortunate in that we don't have a good concussive palm kill. But it's still okay. We want to take down this one, then we can play the Immortal Fire behind and plan to block this one with it. We are pretty far behind. I can't really see ourselves coming back in this one when he's got picked up quite a bit of value out of his wounds.
Trespassers!
A fallen leaf.
But there's still chances. We'll lose elusive him out of this game. Let's see how it goes.
Faces to the sun!
Uh-oh, that's scary. Just this is not an attack that if he's confident in this attack happening, I mean, he has so many cards ahead of us, he can probably just throw stuff at us to whittle away our position. But
Devotion through battle!
seeing this come at us is pretty scary.
No mercy for heretics.
You don't have recalls. Let's get rid
I
of
see every move.
this. We'll take one. I feel like this is about to get hushed, but this is like the only whimsy. Okay, even worse than hush. I think that's gonna do it for us. Okay, not bad. I was pleased with the outcome of this run. I have some things to say about what happened there. You got to see in that last game was that we had that. Hang on, Elowar Guardian comes up. There we go. And so, Yeah, like I'm still like pretty low on Yasuo. Like I think the only reason that we did so well throughout this run is that just Leona is so good. Um, there just weren't like very many spots within this run to where we could really take advantage of the Yasuo. I mean, we tried to find Noxus and it didn't show up. We had a non-zero amount of stuns. The good ones at the top end between our one Yo and our one Mind Splitter. It took us forever to find our one Concussive Palm, and then we kind of found another one at some point throughout. Um, but then, Leona is the big activator, but it's like, do you want to be playing three Leonas and one Yasuo, and like then really like dedicating to building around Yasuo? Probably not. And so what I think that we'll be looking to do with this Yasuo is so like if you're looking at our tier list, the way I kind of like look at the tiers are is within like building around that specific pool. And so do I think like building around um, this Yasuo is still tier 5, like as worst as it can be? Yes, I do. And then I think this run just further shows to go that like regardless of which Leona that you pick, both of the Leona decks are just tier 1 pools. Whether or not you end up doing either like this was more of like a daybreak thing that we ran into here, also what our opponent was doing in that last game. But if you're doing daybreak or doing invoke, both of them are extremely good, and both of them want Leona as kind of the core champion. And so that's kind of like an aside with how I look at the tiers. Like I think it's specifically shown well with someone like Maokai. Do we ever want to just be building around Maokai? No, like both of his pulls are garbage. Like if we're doing sea monsters, we would rather be with Twisted Fate, or if not Twisted Fate, then with Nautilus. And then if we're doing Ancient Evil, I don't know what Ancient Evil is supposed to do, but like those kind of Maokai themes, we aren't going to just fully build around him. But if we're with say like a Callista or a like Callista or Retribution, that's Lucian, or if we're say looking at something like a something that has Professor Von Yips that can take advantage of the saplings, like just then becomes like a super fantastic pool. Maokai has a whole lot of value, but like I'm never going to call like Maokai as like a tier 1 pool. Like if I had a separate tier list for like support pools, then Maokai would be tier 1. But as far as like that actual tier list goes, he's not. And that's how I kind of see Yasuo is. I would, as far as this build around Yasuo goes, it's just not very good. This might be a thing in Constructed where you can play 3 Leonas, 3 Yasuos, but as far as Expedition goes, it's just too awkward. There's not enough non-champion activators. Maybe you can even look at like Darius, and Darius just picked up that stun card. But it doesn't give you rallies unless Darius is in play. So are we supposed to do like this 2-2 thing again? I don't know. And so kind of like looking at this on like the other side of the coin, if we're just fully building around Leona and then picking up Yasuo as a support pool, fantastic. I'm like super happy with a lot of these cards that we can pick up here. Getting access to like Deny and Concussive Palm, and getting access to things like Deep Meditation. Ultra happy with how Sonic Wave panned out in this deck. Like there's a lot of really good cards that we can pick up out of this Yasuo pool. We just really don't want to be attempting to build around him. I think I fully have him as that in this department as like with Shen. It's like, whenever we try to draft Shen, the build around just never really happens. Like maybe around pick like 5 or 6, we just realize that we've fully abandoned Shen and we're just drafting whatever other champion that we had there was. I think that's how we should probably look at Yasuo now. Is that I think the Maokai example is perfect. There's a lot of places to where this can be a great support pool. Maybe if we have some like stuns in our deck and we're able to deal damage to a unit, then sure. Having an aggressive deck with a 4/4 quick attack in it isn't the end of the world. Our opponents tend to try to deal with our champions, and so if he's able to kind of distract while we're doing other things, then sure, that's great. But as far as this build around goes, I'm kind of done with it until some more cards are released. And so not a whole lot to talk about with this pool here. I think kind of the opposite side of a coin way to look at this is a pretty cool thing to build around with Leona. If we're able to, fully build around her, and then have access to say like one deny or these sonic waves. I thought were fantastic with these Solari shield bearers and even the soldiers. There's just a lot of great things that we can be doing out of Ionia. And I think Yasuo is a good pairing with Leona, since he combos with her, even if we don't pick up too many Ionia cards. But this is just kind of something that we're done with this Yasuo build around. This really kind of solidifies me as seeing both Leona pulls as a tier 1. And so, yeah, kind of awkward to talk about here, but I think this was a pretty cool pairing to see with Leona, even though we were attempting to build around Yasuo. But let's see, that's going to do it for today. Let me swing back here real quick. I'm not sure if there's any rewards or not. Looks like there's one in this thing. Man, are we almost done with Targon already? these whatever this called, reward road, seems to fly by so quick. You got champion. Oh. What is it? I mean, are we really almost done with this? Diamond chest, the end of it? That's quick. Where are we at? Like, this is like week 4? I think it's about a month. We certainly don't play as much as a lot of other people do, so I'm sure a lot of people already closed out this reward road. You viewers have probably already cleared this out. But nonetheless, that's gonna do it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the run and learned something along the way. This is Free to Play Bust. We thank you for being here.